All right, shall we start? Guys, do you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, everyone. Yep, all right. Good morning, everyone. All right, so let's start the subject information system. Okay, guys, so first of all, my name is Osama, and I will be your lecturer for information system this semester. And let's talk just a little bit about the subject and what we are expecting from the subject. What's your task for the subject as well? First of all, let me tell you something. As a person who taught the subject twice, and I was the tutor for this subject since 2017. I can tell you one thing quite simple. The subject it's not that difficult at all. It's not complicated. It's at the same time actually it's not that easy, right? So we can say it's in the middle. The one thing actually that you need to do for the subject, of course, you need to follow up with your lecture notes. You need to follow up with your lab notes, and in order to achieve actually good marks at the final exam or overall. So from my experience, what I can see from other students last 2 semesters, it's not a big deal to achieve a good mark. It's a matter of just following up with the lecture notes, following up with the lab notes, attending all the labs, and doing what's required from you. That's it. It's not a big deal at all. So the subject information system actually, subject description, it will talk about the information system, their development, the life cycle of information system, the finding techniques and tools for system analysis and design. Actually, that will be the main topic for the 12 weeks in this semester. As a teaching staff, of course, as we said, I will be your lecturer. So we're gonna have 2 hours a week, Monday 9 to 12, Monday to 11, 9 to 11 actually. Every Monday, will be the main lecture, and the lecture is recorded. So after a few hours, or mostly actually after a day, so the recording of the lecture will be on LMS for your review. This is my email app. As you can see, please send me any email regarding if you have any question, if you have any doubts about the subject or about anything related to the subject. Lab demonstrator currently, actually, I will be your lab demonstrator. Most likely, we're gonna have another lab demonstrator by this week. If not, I will be your lab demonstrator till the end of the semester. So as we said, the lecture will start from 9 to 11 every Monday online, and it's recorded as well. So regarding the labs here, as you know, as I mentioned the email that I just sent it before, this subject actually will cover for students from Bendigo and Bendora as well. So we're gonna have actually 6 labs here in this semester. The first one is actually Monday, 12 to 2 p.m. This lab actually is mainly for Bendigo students, for students from Bendigo. And for Wednesday labs, Thursday labs, actually, all of these actually will be mainly for Bandura students. For Bandura students, we are expecting about above 100 students, while for Bendigo, actually, we are expecting about 20 students. So we have assigned just one lab for them, while for Bandura students, we have about 5 labs. So please, if you are actually from Bendigo, please enroll in Monday Lab, while if you are from Bendora campus, please enroll yourself from one of these lab, Wednesday or Thursday. All right. So please may I ask you here if there are students from Bendigo have attended this lecture? Yeah, from Bendigo. Great. All right. Most welcome. Okay, great, great. All right. So as we said, from Bendigo, please again enroll in Monday Lab. From Bandura, please. From Bandura, yeah, please enroll in Wednesday or Thursday labs. Okay. Now, learning resource, of course, we're gonna have this lab of the material, the syllabus lab that the book that we rely on this subject. Of course, you are free to use this subject, this book. You can just borrow it from library, or you can actually find it online. Maybe just Google it, and of course, you are free to use actually other resources to extend your knowledge about this subject. So it's up to you. Learning resources, all the announcement, the lecture notes, the tutorial questions, and the lab notes as well, the assignments, and other rates, of course, will be available on LMS, which is the homepage of the information system. So please access them. Lecture notes, lab notes, assignments, everything will be on LMS. All right. So now regarding the evaluation of information system, we're gonna have two assignments. All right. So the first assignment actually is it's worth 20% of your final mark, and that will be the due date of assignment one will be on week 8. All right. And the assignment two worth again 20% as well. And the due date will be on week 12, which is the last week of the semester. All right. So regarding assignment one, as we said, the due date is week 8. So we will release the assignment way by assignment one by week 5, 4, or around 6 maybe, or maybe before that. So you will have actually plenty of time to work on your assignment one. And the same thing for assignment two. The due date is week 12, which is the end of this semester. But at the same time, we will release assignment two by week 7. All right. All right. So we're gonna have two quizzes as well for this subject. The quizzes will be on week 4 and week 10 as well. But there is no actually it's not it was 0. There's no marks on the quizzes. So you may ask, so why we need to have such quizzes? All right, so this quiz is actually it's kind of how can we say it? It's kind of following up about your progress with this subject. We need to know, for example, students are the students following up with the subjects, reading the lecture notes, following up with the lab notes, and even if we want to know, for example, from the questions and from the answers, actually, if the students have some actually problem with some topics in the subject, for example, so we can know from the answers. So the quizzes actually will be in the first 15 minutes of each lecture. So week 4, we're gonna have the first quiz, the first 15 minutes of the lecture. I will give you the questions, mostly will be online questions, and of course you will answer all the questions. And the questions, of course, will be mainly from lecture 1 till lecture 3. Okay, so these are about the quizzes, and for week 10, of course, the quiz will cover all the material, all the topics from week 1 till week 9. So it's kind of it's a good way to review, review the material before the final exam. And the examination will be 60%, of course, from your final marks. So 20%, 20%, 60% will be 100, which is the final mark of your final mark for your evaluation. To pass the subject, a student is required to accumulate at least 50% overall from the graduate assignments, and then achieve at least 50% in the examination. Believe me, guys, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. Don't think, the subject. It's kind of too tough, or it's quite difficult, or it's complicated. Not at all, but at the same time it's not example. We had students have achieved actually really great marks in the final exam. At the same time, we had students have failed in the exam. So it's up to you. We can't say it's not difficult again and it's not so easy. It's in the middle. But what you need, just follow up with your lecture notes, follow up with your lab notes, study for your assignments. The assignment one, assignment two, of course, will be from the lectures, of course from the lab notes, from the lecture notes. What you need is just follow with them with the subject. That's it. That's all that you need to do. All right. So what else? Okay. So just one thing I want to mention regarding the subject. This semester we have something called subject support session, which is will be run by Loki. So the subject support session is every Monday, 2 to 4 p.m. The subject support session is mainly for students. If you have any question regarding the subject, if you have questions about the lab, about the lecture notes, about anything related to the subject, you have some problems, are facing some difficulties in something, all right? So just please don't miss that support session by Loki. He will help you, of course, and will answer all the questions. All right. At the same time, we're gonna have a consultation time. Okay, is there any interrupt my voice? Keep cutting. Okay, how is it now? Is it good now? Guys, can you hear me clearly here now? All right. So, okay, yeah. Okay. Regarding the consultation time, we're gonna have two sessions. Both of them on Friday. Friday, of course, from 9 to 11, 2 hours, actually for Bandura students, and 1 hour from for Bendigo students. So you may ask why 2 hours for Bandura students, why 1 hour for Bendigo students. The main reason for that, actually, for Bandura students, as I said from the beginning, we have about above 100 students. So of course, we need to allocate enough time for them, while for Bendigo students, we have only 20, I think it's about 20 students. So it's 1 hour. All right. But the main thing, please, so if you have any question about the subject again, you want to discuss it with me personally, of course, of course, you may attend these two consultation sessions. Question regarding the subject, the lab notes. Again, please don't hesitate to attend these sessions. All right. Will there be past exam material to prepare for the exam, or maybe a sample exam before the exams? Absolutely, yes. Of course. Before the final exam, all right. So let me tell you something. So the whole semester is 12 weeks, all right? So this is week one. So for 12 weeks, of course, we're gonna have the material, all the material of the information system. So before the exam or at the end of this semester, the last lecture of this subject, we're gonna have something called review exam or review lecture. We will review all the material from the beginning till till the end in one lecture. We will focus, for example, on the topics that you need to focus on. Example, to discuss kind of exam papers, we will find preparation for your final exam. All right. And again, these consultations time, please don't miss them. All right. So just to review everything again. So for information system, you have one lecture, 2 hours, Monday 9 to 11, and then you're gonna have what else? The labs here. We have 6 labs. One for Bendigo Monday. It's mainly designed for Bendigo students, and Wednesday, Thursday, of course, these 5 labs for Bandora students. All right. The two things left. We have support section, support subject session. Of course, it's run by Loki. Please don't miss that. It's Monday 2 to 4 every week as well. Start from week 2. All right, and the labs as well will start from week 2. So this week there is no labs, there is no workshop. We'll start everything from week 2 next week. And the labs is always 1 week behind the main lecture. All right. So today, the first week of semester 2, you will have your first lecture, and then next Monday, you're gonna have your second lecture. All right. The same day, Monday, 27th of July. For example, Bandura students, they gonna have the first workshop, the first lab. Bendigo students from 12 to 2 p.m. They will have their first workshop. The workshop, of course, is related to what? To the first lecture, to what we will talk about today. All right. So every workshop, every lab, it's always 1 week behind the lecture. All right. So this is actually in general, and just I wanted to talk with you about the subjects. All right. Now take the let's talk about the information system itself. All right. Okay. Any questions so far, guys? Before just going with the information. Any questions so far? All good? Are we having online final exam? Yes, we are. Yes, we're gonna have online final exam. Or I don't gonna say we're gonna have a final exam. It's online. It's as we did for the last semester. First semester one, we did all subjects online. So I gonna say it's 99%, 99.99 it will be online. I'm not pretty sure what will happen by next 2 months, honestly, but 99.99 will be online. Okay. Okay, guys. Any questions so far? Any doubts about the subject? All good? Guys, do you hear me? Multiple choices and short answer for final exam. Yeah, the final exam will be MCQ questions. Short answer can still hear you. Okay, great. All right. Now let's start our first lecture for information system. All right. So please, guys, while I am just opening these slides, and try to open the slides from your computer just to follow up. So the first slide of the information system subject is said a system definition. All right. All right. Now, before just talking about that, the system definition, let's just talk about the first term of the topic, information. So let's information system. Let's break down this term, information system. All right. So the question is now, let's start the subject this semester with a question. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's start with a question. So why we always say information system and we don't say a data system? What do you think? Do you have an answer for such question? Now, you are now an IT student, right? So someone asks you, why we always saying information system and we don't say a data system or data system. You can say, okay, information is meaningful data. All right, beautiful. All right, okay, almost there. All right, someone else. Guys, please, if you prefer, if you can try to speak to the micro, please, if you want. Guys, do you hear me? Hello.
Yes.
All right. So okay. So the question is, why we always saying information system and we don't say data system? What do you think? Why?
Is data is like raw and information is processed information.
Beautiful. What a great answer. Thanks so much. And when we say data, of course, data is a raw. We can't say it's unorganized facts. It's kind of it's need to process. All right, so it's something still raw. It's still raw. It's unorganized. So when it's unorganized, of course, it's useless. All right. So always when we saying information system actually, or at the same time when we say information actually when the data is processed by something, all right? So when the data is processed by something, so the output of that is organized, we call it as organized data, or data actually that will be useful to use by something. So the data is a raw, of course. It's unorganized facts that need to be processed by something. And the information, of course, the data, when the data is processed, organized, or structured, or presented actually in a given context, so it will be useful actually to be used by somewhere or someone else or by something else. All right. So then, of course, we can call it as information. All right. So now, when we put the information and the system together, what will happen? What we will get? Software or steps or procedure, as we will see later, that helps to organize and analyze the data. So it's not the information, right? So when we say an information system, it's a software, is a steps, is a procedure that will help to organize and analyze the data, not the information. So the purpose of information system here is what? Is to turn the raw data into useful information. All right. And that can be used, of course, for decision making or for anything else. So this is actually the what we call by information. The main difference between information and data, and why we always saying information system, not data system or data system. Now, as a system, as a term, a system can be say actually can be defined as a group of things or parts of forming a whole. This is by Australian dictionary. A system can be what? A set of procedures, and a set of procedures used to accomplish a specific result. All right. A system can be what? As a set of interrelated interacting components that functions together to achieve a specific result. Right. So from these definitions, what we can see here, we can see that the information system in any information system actually could be designed for actually for a specific, to achieve a specific result. Depends on what this information system has been designed for. This is the actually information system. For example, we can say the solar system is an information system by itself. Manufacturing a simple lines, it's an information system by itself. Transport management system is an information system by itself, e-commerce system, and on so on. So every one from these examples, actually, it's an information system actually by itself. All right. Now, system characteristics. When we say actually a system, again, from the definitions, it's set or sets of what? Of procedures are used to accomplish a specific result. All right. A series of steps are followed in regular specified order to accomplish end results. So what does that mean here? It means actually a system actually it comes with steps, all right? Steps or procedures actually from the beginning when use the input the data as input before until actually produce the result, the output of the information system. It comes in steps or process, and as we will see later, the process and steps or procedures actually to achieve the result or the aim of the information system. The second character, of course, the system are often joined to other system to form more complex system capable of. That means actually the information system, it's not compulsory to have information system by itself. We can have, for example, two information systems actually combined together or joined together. Why? To have actually or to form or to perform a more complex system. All right. So two information systems can have or join together to form one big information system that will perform more complex system, all right, or more complex tasks. So any information system, if it was, for example, a simple information system or joint information systems, at the end, in a simple level, all these information system actually can take what inputs, can take processes and the outputs. So the data, of course, will be the input for this information system will process that process the input in a structured way and produce, of course, more useful output. So these are, we can say, the characteristics of information system. An information system is a system where information processing is the center of the system. A computerized. You are not showing. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not showing the correct slides. How about now? All right. So an information system, when we say information system action, an information system is a system where information processing is the center of the system. Computerized systems support the provision of timely, of course, if any with any information system, of course, it's provide timely, accurate, and concise data to individual who make the sense of data. Example of that, of course, laptop students online is typically information system, and we will talk about this example just later on these slides. All right, now when we say of course when we talk about the information system, actually there's kind of main components for any information system, whether it was a simple information system by itself or it's kind of combined or compound with other information systems. So at the end, we're gonna have more complex information system. So in general, all of them actually, consist of five main components. Start with people, hardware, software, processes, and finally the data. All right, if you can just look here, we didn't say information. All right, so The data here, we didn't say information. What did we say? We said data. Because information system actually it's always process data, doesn't process any information. It process data because the data, of course, it's raw data, it's useless, it's unorganized. So of course the information system will turn these data into actually information or a kind of organized data to be useful to use it by something else. Some information system, of course, it's not compulsory to use data. Some information system may they use kind will be the output of information system will be the input to other information systems. Of course, could be, but in general, the data, of course, is the input for any information system. All right. So again, for any information system, for any simple information system, or it's more complex information system, each single information system has hardware, software, processes, and data. All right. Now, when we say people, all right, when we say people, people, of course, actually, people are the users are the people who interact with an information system both inside and outside of the company. All right, users can be different types and can have different levels of access to the information system. All right, so now the question is, let's go back to the example of laptop student online. Okay, laptop student online, as we said, is a typical find. Who are the people who use? Let me ask you, as a student for this information system, who are the people who use this information system, which is laptop student online? What do you think? Who are the people?
The professional staff. So like
Perfect.
us, Latrobe, or student IT,
Beautiful. Who else?
academic staff as well.
Perfect. Who else?
Students that want to enroll.
Students.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Students. All right. So I think you just mentioned most of them. So the people who are using this information is, of course, they first start with the access to use this information system. We have this academic staff, right, who are using this information system. We have the more actually level above the staff, for example, could be ICT, could be those professional ones who are using this information system. This is absolutely correct. There is no doubt with it. All right. So this is actually those people we can call them the people who are using actually this information system. But the question is, um, every single type of user who are using this information system, he has actually kind of different type of or different level of access. For example, let me give you an example. You are, as we said, you said the students could be the first type of user who are using the students online information system, right? So what is your level of access to this information system? Are you able to access entirely the information system, or can you have a limits access? What do you think? Absolutely, you have limited access. There is no doubt with that. You are absolutely right, right? So you have limited access. For example, as a student now, you may be absolutely, you are restricted to your own data. So for example, as a student now, you are able to access, for example, to select the subject, right? Select the subjects. You may have access to the select subject, enroll your name yourself in one of the subjects, and then of course you may have access to download the material of each subject. You may have access to, for example, to view the marks, the final marks, and all of these things, right? This is your, let's say, this is your actual limited access. This is your level of access to the LMS or to this information system from a student's perspective. Now, what about me as academic staff? Do I have the same level of access? Of course not. So now I am able to, as academic staff, I can access to the LMS, of course, to, for example, add documents. I can delete documents. I can, for example, delete subjects. I can copy the whole entire subjects twice, all right? This is what we call the rollover the subject. I may be able to change the layout of the subject itself. I can change the structure of the elements itself. I may have access to, for example, what else? I can, for example, access to all marks for students. I can update the marks. I can view the marks. I can hide the marks of the students. So this is my level of access, all right? So of course it's not like yours. So we can say the academic staff is a second type of people who are using this information system. Now, some people higher than me, let's say, for example, those people from the ICT or from IT department, do they have the same level of access? Of course not. They have more something higher than me, of course. They have access to mostly 99%, most likely actually, the full access to the information system, right? This is for it's related to the maintenance, it's related to something else. There are some people actually they have full access, all right, full access to this information system. Those people actually we call them professional. Those people actually are mostly are related actually when they want to do maintenance, when they want to do, for example, update the whole system, the whole information system. They will have full access to the information system, all right? So again, for any information system, of course, we actually should have people who are using the information system, and every single type of user actually have limited access to functionality of the information system. All right, so this is the first one regarding the people. The second one, of course, the hardware. Of course, since we are dealing with information system, of course, there should be hardware equipments. It could be a CPU, could be a storage, it could be a network. Of course, it's all related to hardware equipment for the information system. Software, a set of computer programs that control the hardware, implement the defined process, and manipulate the data. That software, of course, it will be kind of interface between the software itself and the user or the people who are using this information system. And what else? We have a process. A process is a part of the information system that achieves certain business functionality. All right. So a process is normally described by input, a function, and the output. The process manipulates the input data to generate the output. All right. Let's take an example. Again, let's talk about the Latrobe Student Online Information System. So as a student, so when we take this Lathrop Student Online Formation System as a whole package, all right? And I may ask you, what is the process, for example, um, to register or to be involved or to be enrolled in this information system, all right? So you may say that at the first thing, of course, first you need to be a student at Latrobe University, right? This is the first step. So the first step, the first process of this information system, of course, you need to upload your, for example, certificate or your what we call the transcript of your high school, and based on that, if your GPA of your from a high school is above 3, of course, let's say above the 3 out of 4 or out of 5, we will be accepted to be a student. Otherwise, below 3, of course, you will be rejected. All right. So this is the first step. The second step, of course, you need to select which department or which school you are applying for. All right. Let's say IT, and then of course the Department of Computer Science will review your application based on the details you uploaded. Could be the GPA, could be your name, full name, address. If you are international students, if you are domestic students, all these details. and then based on that, of course, well, the faculty will determine if you are actually qualified to be a student at the faculty. All right, and then of course this the faculty or the university will send you kind of a notification. All right, hello Sam, for example, you have been selected, you have been, we can say, selected, or congratulations, you got your offer letter to be at Latrobe University, student at Latrobe University. All right, so all of these actually are steps or processes to get the final thing. We are getting to the final now. Now, of course, the Latrobe University will tell you, in order to complete your enrollment, you need to register at our faculty. Then, what you need to do, you need to register your student ID with the faculty, and then maybe you need to select the subject. You have select information system, and then of course actually then the faculty will send you kind email to notify you, and then finally the output of this process, actually you are sitting in front of me now as a student at the Latrobe University Computer Science Department. Okay, so there's a processes, there's the steps actually has been done by this information system to achieve the output from the first step. Once you have been actually accepted to be a student at Latrobe University, till the second one, till the final step, which is actually the output of that. Now this is kind of a full step, full process. Let's take another process. Another process, for example, now we are talking about the information system subject, right? And of course, the output of this information system subject is what? Is your final mark. All right. So again, the input for this subject, of course, they're gonna be your details, your name, your student ID, and then your mark for the assignment one, your mark for assignment two, and then your mark for the final exam. All right. So these are, we can say, a data. All right, data by itself. And then inside the LMS, there's a formula. The formula based on 20% from assignment 1, 20% from your assignment 2, 60% from your final exam, and then of course you need to have above 50 for the final exam. All right. Based on that, based on the formula, the output is if you have passed the subject or not. Above 50 you pass, below 50 you failed in the subject. And this is the output, which is the final mark. So this is actually what we call them actually a processes, represented, start from the beginning, from the data, from processing the data till the middle, processing the data, formula functions, and then ends with actually the final output of this process. So this is actually in brief what we call the process, which is the main part of the information system. So as we can see here, a process is normally described by its input, function and output. The process manipulates the input data to generate the output data. Data, again, as we said, data, the raw materials that an information system transforms into useful information. Data can be in different format, could be text, could be sound, could be image, and could be actually any form of data. Just anything the data could be used actually for an information system. All right. Now, information system classification. In the past, IT manager divided the system into category based on what user group the system served, right? So office systems actually could be actually one of the types here. One of the classifications, for example, could be actually used by editing actually or emailing tools. Uh, Operational systems, of course, decision support system, executive information system, actually. So this is actually, we can call them kind of old classification. In the past, just previous 10, 20 years ago, they used this classification or this categorization based on the user group who serve the system. Actually, based on that, actually have classified the information system. However, actually more recently, of course, when we talk about the information system, it's more related to the functionality of the system itself rather than actually the user group services system serve. All right. So today it's more sensible to classify systems by their functionality. For example, when we talk about the enterprise computing system, when we talk about the transaction processing systems, all right, and of course, based on the functionality of this system, of course, we can classify, we can say this information system is related, for example, to a transaction processing system based on the functionality, based on the aim of this information system, what exactly the aim of this information system has been designed for. All right, so this is actually what we call the main functionality. Business support system could be a knowledge-based knowledge management system, user productivity system. So as we can see here, it's more about the functionality of the information system rather than actually as being divided by before. It's more about before the last about 10 years, 15 years. It's more about actually the user group the system serve. It's more about the users, who are using this information system. Um, if it office system, operational system based on that, but actually more recently, when of course with the development of the information system, it's became more about the functionality of the information system itself, rather than actually the user itself. All right. So this is we can say the new classification of the information system. So, for example, when we talk about the transaction processing systems, of course, when we say transaction, it's from the name, okay, from the functionality. Of course, it's about transactions and all related things. So, processing system efficient because they process a set of transaction related commands as a group rather than individually. So, of course, now it's more about processing online transactions, it's rather than individual transactions. So you may have, for example, of course, these information system may process multiple transactions at the same time instead of individual transactions. Again, if you are dealing with the bank system, for example, the bank system could process multiple transactions at the same moment instead of actual processing individual transactions. For example, we have Ticketmaster. This is an example about online booking system. This, of course, is about transactions online. Business support system here, the same thing. Business support system actually provide job-related information to users at various levels of a company. For example, such system, of course, taking orders from customer, ensuring that order is completed, processing the bills and collecting the payment. So it's more about, of course, taking or provide job related to the information system. This is what we call business support system. Knowledge management system actually systems that can simulate human logical reasoning by combining a knowledge base and inference rules. Okay. For example, medical diagnosis system. Could be actually an example of knowledge management system as well. User productivity system, of course, technology that improve the productivity, of course, of any information system. So these are just kind of, just in brief about the classification of the information, any information system. Information system integration here. Most large companies require systems that combine transaction processing, business support, knowledge management, and user productivity features. So here actually it's from the name integration. Actually that means it's integrate actually the features of the information system, and of course at the end they build the information system, of course, that combine all the features in one information system. So, about the student online, it's an enterprise computing system. Of course, it could be the students online from laptop. Could be an example. Could be an example, of course. As we can see here, look here. This is represent kind of the first step when you are registering your name, your student ID, your name. Actually, with this information system, this is represent an enterprise computing system. E-commerce system, actually transaction processing system to support online business activities, selling, purchasing, making, and collaboration. This is actually the part of e-commerce system actually, and then of course these days, almost actually the information system became actually e-commerce information systems. Okay, so the e-commerce system actually are classified as actually business to customer. We call it B2C, business to customer, business to business, of course, or customer to customer. This is actually kind of types of information systems, e-commerce information system. For example, when we take a business to customer system, all right, what does that mean here? It means actually a business is dealing direct to the customer, all right, with the customer, business to customer. So a system, for example, is for a business sells products, service, and information to its customer through the network. All right. So of course, example of course, retailing, for example, is kind of business to customer. Currently, business to customer makes a large component actually of e-commerce system. This is actually, the most popular now. It's these days actual information system that in general actually between the business itself sell products, sell services, for example, sell anything information, provide an information to the customer, directly to the customer. Is the session? Yes, the session is recording. Yeah, it's recorded and will be uploaded later, of course. All right, no worries. All right, so this is what we call actually, a business to customer. The business itself will provide products, provide services, provide information, to a customers, of course, through the internet. Um, for example, targets here, of course, I believe now everyone just visit that target before. Targets we can consider it as a business to a customer because it comes with an online service. You can, for example, buy things online, products online, and of course you will get directly to your home. It's an example of e-commerce system. At the same time, it's combined a physical store and online store, of course. Another example that provides online, business to customer could be Coles, could be Woolies. All of these things actually nowadays they have actually business to customer system. So you can actually select the products online, and then of course you can get it, of course, to your home or to your address wherever you are, and of course directly to your address. I have another class to attend, so I cannot stay for the full. So, no worries. Take care. Of course, I will upload the record just once I get it. So after a few hours or maximum by tomorrow, so you are free to watch, please. Take care. Okay. Amazon in another example of e-commerce system, business to customer directly. All right, so you can buy whatever you want, any products. It's classified depends on what the type of products. Of course, you can buy whatever you want, and they will send it to you wherever you are. It's online only, so they don't have actually physical store from Amazon. So it's mainly business to customer, you know, systems. What else do we have here? We have actually business to business actually. Actually, a business to business actual system is an e-commerce system that facilitates business transaction between multiple businesses. This is mainly, of course, when actually when there's kind of organization or businesses actually they are dealing with businesses actually, so their work it's not with customers. They don't deal with customers, they don't deal with actual individual customers, me or you or anyone else. So such actually business they deal with actually other businesses, all right. So of course we can call them actually as business to business as well. So I joined late, was another class from 9 to 11. Yes, that's fine. Just you can just yeah, we will upload it later. So what this is what we call actually business to business actually. So there is no actually a deal with the customers directly or individual customers or me or you. It's more about dealing with business itself. So organization with an organization or business with a business itself. This is it's more about. So we call it as a business to a business itself. For example, we can say it's web core. It's another actually. It's dealing with business to business or YX, WX. It's more about business to business. Actually, it's the customer. It's not about the customer. You can't actually you can't deal with them because they don't deal with an individual customer. They need to deal with an organization. They need to deal with a business. This is actually the whole idea. Um, E-commerce system, business to business as well. Commonwealth Bank of West, of course, they are dealing. They have part, for example, dealing with business to business. Actually, in some parts, of course, they are dealing with. I think they are dealing with customers as well. E-commerce system. This is what we call a customer to customer. A customer to customer system parties involved transaction are all about the customers. All right. So, for example, eBay here. eBay actually me as a user of eBay. Of course, I'm able to upload whatever I want. All right, whatever I want to eBay, and then just put it on eBay to sell it to someone else. So someone else, you for example, you can log into eBay, see my product, and just buy it from me. All right, so through eBay. So actually, this is what we call customer to customer. So me, I'm just a customer. You is customer by yourself. So we are not here. We are not dealing with organizations. We are not dealing with any businesses. All right. So it's customer to customer. The same thing, for example, goes with Gumtree. Gumtree is business is customer to customer. I'm uploading my product, uploading my service that I want to sell it. You as a customer, you see my product, buy it from me directly. All right. So this is what we call customer to customer. The same thing actually now it's became with Facebook, or you can, for example, I think it's from there's a section within Facebook we call markets, I think. People selling products or their used products. For example, if you have computer secondhand, you have chair, you have bed, or whatever you have, you can sell it through Facebook. All right. So again, the e-commerce system here became customer to customer. There's no, it's not involved with any kind of organization or businesses here. Information system examples: career success, user productivity system. Of course, the lateral. Of course, it's part of that. All right. So now the computer software. This is the most important thing actually. Some confusing. Some students even from last semester they actually did some mistakes with this part. When we say computer software, which are not information system. All right. So for example, a software package that is not specifically designed to process data. For example, Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word, it's not an information system because it's not about processing the data. You know, because from the definition of information system, it's take, for example, input data and then based on kind of process, kind based on certain procedure, based on certain steps, they will produce outputs. With Microsoft Word, we don't have actually the whole this concept. It's not about processing. We can say that it's not about processing. It's not about input data, steps, procedure, and then you have output. With Microsoft Word, we don't have this concept, all right, of information system. And computer games, the same thing. We don't have such concept, Putty and so on. So I remember that I have used this question in the final exam last semester, and some students actually they did mistake with that. So just logically, as we discussed the concept of information systems, any information system there is data, there's input, there's steps, there's process, there's procedure, and there's output. So this is when you have these, for example, characteristics: input, process, procedure, or whatever, and then you have output. All right. So this is what we call now we can call it as a concept drift. Otherwise, they are not concept drift. Sorry, we can call them information system. Otherwise, actually, they are not information systems. All right. So this is the main idea. Logically, just put it in your mind. Is it related to the same concept or not? If you have these characteristics, of course, you can consider as information system. Otherwise, they are not any information systems. I remember that actually from last semester. Some students actually, when I was just marking the final exam, they did some students did mistake with that. They consider, for example, Microsoft Word as information systems. Yeah, and yeah, they did mistake with that. Anyway, so information system development. Information system, of course, can be developed either internally by the company's IT department or externally by professional software developers. Of course, developed internally by the IT departments. That's quite normal. Any information system, of course, you can develop information system by yourself. Develop IT department clients. So the clients of that information system mainly could be the department which will use this information system in its operation. All right. So let's take an example of that. For example, let's say let's say Larson University itself. It's kind of an organization by itself. Of course, it is. All right, and then they ask their IT department to develop the information system, which is the one that we are using now. All right, so this information system actually is used by whom? By Latrobe only. Now, if you go back, for example, if you go to Monash University, if you go to Swinburne University, if you go to someone else, they don't use the same information system. Maybe they use the same concept, but of course, totally different information system. So the main point is here, the information system actually designed by actually internally will be used by the clients of that organization or that business. For this reason, we are saying that, for example, the information system of Latrobe University used by the clients of Latrobe only. Can someone else, for example, from Swinburne University or from Monash University, can have access to LMS, can have attend the lectures, can be a student at Latrobe University? Of course not, because he's not a student. First, he needs to be client. He needs to be a student at Latrobe University to be able to use the information system. Otherwise, of course, he will not be able to access it because he is not client. This is the main point. Developed internally, of course, they use by the clients. Externally, for example, developed by externally by professional software developers. So they actually develop here external software company, and clients the department organization that will use the information system in its operation. So that means here, you know, an organization, an organization or a company, developer company, they will actually, you ask them to develop an information system. Of course, you ask them to, that you have used it. For example, they produced you and you have used it. Someone else, he came actually use that information system. All right. So, what we call, let me give you example about that. We have something external software company. Um, all right. For example, human resource. There's some information system. For example, we can say the human resource information system. It's mainly about um, about an information system of the billing about or about salary, all these details that will record the staff, record the salary of each staff, record the details of each staff. Each organization actually they can buy this information system, all right, and use it for their organization. So it's not mainly actually designed by the department IT. They can of course get something else from outside. Lot of university can get information system from outside, has been designed by someone else, and some another university they can use the same information system, but of course with different data. But the main point is they can use it for the same purpose, all right, the same purpose. This is what we call it actually when we say the information system could be designed internally or externally. All right, so system development here, an information system can be developed either internally by the company, department, or externally, of course. We talked about this one. System development methods, structured analysis, system development life cycle, productive approach, use a set of process models, of course, to describe the system graphically. This is actually will be the main topic, for our topic by next lectures. System development methods, oriented, object-oriented analysis, start by analyzing combine data and process into objects. And this is, of course, this is what we will discuss by next lectures. How can we, for example, combine the data and the processes into objects? We put them actually, all the data, actually, all the process as objects. And as we can see here, for example, from these two tables, for example, here when you define a person as an object here from class, for example, comes with these details, name, first name, last name, and age, of course. And then, of course, when you are actually using or you are defining a new person, of course, you are, of course, referring to the person as a class, all right? So, of course, that means every person, every individual person will has these details, all right? Name, first name, and age. So of course we're gonna talk about these details by next lectures. And what else? System development, project management. Of course, when we talk about the project management, the work to initiate, of course, you need to have a plan. You need to have a supervisor, of course, the development of information system. All these details, of course, you need to consider. You need to consider while you are dealing with or designing the information system. The importance of project management, regardless of the development strategy, the people, the task, of course, the tasks that will be involved in any information system, the timetable, the expenses must be managed effectively. So these are actually the steps or actually that points that you need to consider. The people, the main tasks, of course, of an information system, the timetable, what we mean by timetable. The timetable here, for example, when you put a plan for, you want to design information system, all right? And this is actually what we discussed by next lecture, the life cycle of information system. Start by, put the plan, and then, of course, start by the plan. The first task, for example, the budget. What is the budget for your information system? Who are the people? You need to divide the people, not our users, not as developers. What are the people? Who are the people who will use actually, or who are the people who will develop the information system based on the programmer, based on someone else? Of course, all of these people will be actually selected, effectively. Complex projects can involve dozens of people, hundreds of tasks, of course, and many thousands of dollars. Of course, that it depends on how big actually the information system you are designing. Is it, for example, kind of a small one? Because we may have information system with thousands of users, thousands of people who are involved in this information system. For example, now take the example of student, lots of students online. How many students, how many people who are using this information system? Let's say thousands of people, from students, from all departments. By the way, this information system used by computer science, by chemistry, by physics, by mathematics, and so on. So by thousands of students, and academics as well, staff academy. So of course it depends on how big this information is. System guidelines. When we talk about the development, of course, yes, you need to stick to the plan. The plan that will you stick to it. Actually, the plan that you need to follow up, of course, to achieve the final result of your information system. Start from the beginning, starting by the people who are hiring to develop the information system. Even if you face any difficulties, of course, when you are dealing with a project of designing information system, you may face difficulties, during the design. So how you will deal with that, of course, it's part of system development guidelines. Users, clients throughout the development process. Listening is very important. Listening means actually here, because as a developer, of course, you need to listen very carefully, as a developer perspective, to what, for example, the main purpose of this information system. What is your job mainly? What you need to do? What's your task? Because as we will see later, the information system could be divided into different parts, all right? And then as a final step, all these parts actually will combine together to represent the whole information system. So let's say an information system can be defined into part A, part B, and part C. People with different specialized, they work on part A. Different with people with actually different specialized will work on part C, B, and so on. So once they did the test, for example, and they combine everything together to represent the information system as one single information system. Use project management tools to identify tasks and the milestones, of course. Remain flexible, develop accurate cost and benefits information system. For example, this is what we will discuss later on as well. So when we develop an information system, what is the initial cost? You need to know that as well, the initial cost of this information system, and what is the benefit, because sometimes when you develop an information system, it's not realized that the cost it's more than the benefit, because it's not doesn't make any sense. So as an information system developer or as the owner of this information system, you need to see the cost. Of course, there's kind of initial cost of this information system, and then after years, you need to put a plan and see the benefits. If the benefits, for example, goes up, that should be fine. There is no problem with that. But if the benefits or the cost of this information system goes down or goes up, compared with the benefits, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with your information system, and you need to fix that by yourself. All right. So of course we will compare, the difference between the cost and the benefits, and how can we determine the cost and the benefit of an information system. That will be the main topic, of course, next lectures as well. Information technology departments. The IT department actually in a company maintains the company's network and information systems, provide technical support for user, develop a small selected information system. Of course, that will be, of course, the IT department. For any information system, you need to have an ID department, as we have now when you are dealing with a lot of students online. You have an ICT department, If you face any problem, of course, what you need to do, of course, give them a call or send them email or write, hi, this is, for example, this is Sam. This is my ID. I'm facing this difficulty. Can you fix it, please? So, of course, because they have, as we said before, because they have a different level of access to the information system, so they can actually look at your problem and fix it directly. So this, of course, what we call as the IT department. Could be, system support and security is about the security, is about the database administration, network administration, for example, web support. All of this actually, it's related to the IT department. Yes, of course. Option three, absolutely. Yes, this is actually for ICT department for information system, of course. Just any problem, just give them a call, of course, option three, and of course they will fix your problem directly. Information technology department, application department team may include users, of course, system support and security, user support. This is, of course, about actually, the main problems, or actually they divide the ICT, of course, the IT department in more details. For example, about the application development, because when you are using an information system, of course, there's kind of applications, of course, required to run with the information system. Support and security, of course, when we are dealing with the privacy and security. So, of course, this is the main team related about these problems. User support, for example, database administration, because when you are dealing with information system, the main thing is database and database. You have database. So, of course, there's a database administration, though, of course, mainly they are dealing with the database of this information system. Database design, management, security, backup, and user access. All of these actually, sorry, it's related to the database administration. Network administration as well, web support, quality, insurance, of course. All of these are related to the IT departments. The system analyst position. A system analyst here envision, of course, an information system and provide description of the information system. Of course, because we are dealing here with an information system, of course, so we are expecting, to talk about the system analyst as well. It's a person who will, envision an information system and provides description of the information system. In some circumstances, actually, the system analysts also involved in system development to analyze, to design, to develop, install, evaluate, and maintain the information system. That should be absolutely correct. Do you know why? Because the system analyst, of course, it's mainly about analyzing, So the main job of system analyst, of course, he will take the data or all the information, of course, and then he will look at the information has been given or the data, and based on that, of course, he will do analysis, and he will see, of course, based on this, based on the data or the information given, he can, for example, redesign something. He could be, for example, design the information system in different way with more actually productivity. He can, for example, install something, and all of these actual things related to the system analysis. On large, when we talk about the large project, of course, the analyst normally works as a member of the development team. That's, of course, absolutely correct. When you are dealing with actually, huge companies or very huge organization, for example, Commonwealth Bank, they have their own actually system analyst, as a member, as an employee in their company or their organization. But when we talk about the small companies, there is no need. They think there is no need to have their own system analyst. They can actually hire someone else because the outside in the industrial, of course, there is actually organization for system analyst itself. So if you have a small company or small actually business, and you need to have a system analyst, of course, for your projects, for example, instead of hiring someone, instead of actually put some analyst in your company as hire it, of course, you can just ask someone else You can give him a task and pay for that. This is the main job. So he is not a main part. He is not a member of your company, of course. So you can just hire him from outside, do the task, and that's it. He will leave. So this is what we call actually when you have large projects and when you have small projects. You can have your own system analyst or you can hire it from someone else. Responsibility, of course, translates the business requirements into practical IT projects to meet needs. Required skills and background, of course. System analyst, it means actually mainly when you talk about a system analyst, he could have kind of skills, about programming skills, mainly actually our skills. They should be actually a solid background about using our language to programming for data analysis. Mathematical skills as well. Some tools actually that we use for visualizing data because he need to put the data in a format to be able to read it, analyze it, and then of course he put the feedback about that. So of course it's required to have skills. All right. So objective at the end of this lecture, of course. So you should be able to answer these questions. Can you explain what information system is? And can you provide examples about that? Can you identify components of an information system? All right. Can you identify few information system based on users and functions? Of course. Can you so as we said, of course, before in the last 20 years, for example, 20 years ago, the information system were divided by the users actually who the system served, all right. But now more recently, actually the information system actually could be classified by their functionality, more about the functionality rather than user served. Can you explain your role of system analysis in information technology? Of course, they just previous slide. System analysis, of course, in about analyzing, development, and install, and put the feedback about the information system. And as a person, of course, it's require kind of special skills in terms of programming, in terms of visualizing data, in terms of analyzing the data or the information has been given to him. So actually, these are the questions that you should be able to answer by yourself at the end of this lecture. So by next week, actually, we will go deeper with information system because this is the first lecture. This one actually it's more about just overview about the information system in general, the definition of information system, the characteristic of the information system, the main components of the information system. But by next week and so on, of course, we will go deeper by talking about the life cycle of the information system. How can we, for example, design or put a plan for an information system from scratch? What we need to do, what we are required to design information system from scratch till the end, getting the result, the output results. Okay, guys. So this is the end of this lecture. Any questions? Hello? Guys, do you hear me? Okay, guys. So as we said, this is the first week. All right. So with the first week, there is no labs, there is no workshops. All the labs start from second week or from week two. This is week one. All right. All the labs, all the workshops start week behind the lecture one. All right. So today is 20th of July, right? All the labs start from 27th of July, which is next week. So next week, next Monday is the 27th of July. We're gonna have our second lecture and start actually the labs that relate to the first lecture. So this week there is no labs at all. Okay. Okay, when I will upload this lecture, actually the record of this lecture actually will uploading directly to the cloud, Zoom cloud. So once they will send it to me, could be just after a few minutes, after a few hours, or maybe tomorrow. So once I get it, of course, I will post it on LMS, and I will let you know that. I will let you know about that. All right, I will send you an email. I will tell you that the record of the lecture has been posted on LMS. Okay, no further questions, guys? Okay, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much all for attending this lecture, and see you next week, next Monday. All right? Cheers. Thank you, guys. Take care, please.
Thank you.